Hello and welcome to the Main Protagonist podcast. This is Patry and I'm here with my very dense love interest.
Hello, it is me, Casper, the love interest.
But
Apparently.
very dense.
Perhaps.
So let's get this out of the way. I love you!
Huh? Yes, I also like you, my dear beloved friend.
Murder intensifies. So, how are we doing?
How are we doing indeed? I'm pretty okay, besides, some of the struggles that we've had trying to start up this recording.
Yeah, it didn't really want to go the way I wanted it to go.
I can tell you that this is also not very fun for me.
Oh, well, we're here now. It's recording properly on all fronts.
Fingers
Finally.
crossed.
Now let's hope the camera doesn't crash, but that's not too important. Did you just spill water? Oh, you dingle. And he's dying.
Death is on me.
Okay.
Keep going, we're not doing a take 3 of this bloody thing. Let's go.
Let's go. I've been struggling a bit with my depression, but I've cleaned my house, so I'm getting there.
Is it because your love interest was coming?
Of course. That's always is.
I have dutifully not taken notice of it.
Good. And, with some microphone troubles and some recording troubles, but finally here we are.
Choking troubles.
Choking troubles too. Dear Christ. Let's actually get on with it.
What a day. This is punishment for recording on Sunday last time around. Was that
blasphemy? We were blasphemous. So, anime we have been watching.
Yeah, have you actually been watching something? I don't think I've seen any updates on your front.
I don't think I did. I may have watched a movie or something, but I'm not even sure. I'm very bad at keeping track since we done a podcast and what I've watched in between. I'm very bad at remembering. But I was quite busy last 2 weeks. So
yeah, you've been having a rough time of it, so I can kind of understand that you haven't...
I want to...
getting your anime quotas.
No, I'm...
Meeting your anime quotas, rather.
Meeting? Oh dear, I have quotas now.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. We've got to have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm going to get on that after this. Because I've certainly have some anime that I want to watch, so...
Fortunately, I have anime for this segment. I did my job.
It's a job now.
Well, in my case it is. I got a website to run, man.
Yeah, fair enough.
Most controversial, I mentioned it on the last podcast, but I was watching Kanokon.
Ah, yes. Trash the anime.
Oh, man, I went into it knowing that it was going to be bad, but my biggest shock after I was done, I've kind of ruined the surprise now, but when do you think Kanokon was released?
I believe it was 2007.
It was made in 2008 actually.
Yeah,
but I looked at it and I was like, okay, yeah, this is like some early Moe crap, and I was guessing like 2004 or something. But
no, I would have definitely shot you down right there because the style is far too new agey. Let's just say 2004 you get more into canon and air territories of animation quality, and this is definitely a whole other thing. I mean, the most Moe thing from 2004 I can remember is Maburaho, that's it.
Yeah, I remember that thing.
And that's still very early 2000 style. I think the Kanokon is in style quite a bit newer.
Maybe in style, but in animation quality, like, holy shit, it was so underwhelming.
I know you didn't like it by the point that I got a message. I found the best thing about this anime, and it's literally just a picture of a dice.
That was a very well animated dice. That was the highlight of that fucking anime, actually.
And that's how you know it's trash.
I was writing my review on it, and I basically just ended it on a whole list of smaller complaints because there was just so much to talk about.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, the one thing that stands out to me is like episode 10 or something, there's this big climactic battle and they just don't have sound effects.
Nope. Just the entire furry absorption transformation thing is
it's
weird.
It's not even good at that.
No.
Like the whole idea is that it's kind of like Omamori Himari. There's a bunch of series like this, Japanese folklore and not yaoi, yokai. Forgive me.
You buffoon!
But like romance based around yokai and folklore, and
Yes.
there's a bunch of those. But here it's like, okay, yeah, you got different girls that all the two main girls are both different kind of spirits. It never comes up.
Oh,
Like,
no, almost never.
I think like even half the episodes don't have any kind of magic fancy stuff in it.
No, that's true. The only thing I can call positive from the entire show is the opening and the ending, as in the songs. Those
Really?
are
You
pretty
like those?
nice.
I
The
was-
ending in particular is
I
pretty
was
good.
lukewarm about those.
The opening is okay at best, but I still know the lyrics. If you can give me that song, I'll sing along.
You know,
And the I really like the ending.
well, I am generally positive when it comes to anime, to ecchi anime that's actually uncensored, and Kanokon is that, but it's just Shotacon, Lolicon crap.
Yeah,
I can't care for that.
It's just nudity for the sake of nudity.
Yeah.
There's no humor behind it,
There's no comedy,
driving
there's no
force.
creative presentation. It's just
If you want to watch something that's, in my opinion, quite a bit more fun and made by the same studio and definitely by all the same people, Ladies vs. Butlers.
huh.
That anime, I rated it lower before I rewatched it, and I rewatched it and I was like, no, this shit is actually better than Kanokon by a mile. It's actually sort of entertaining.
Yeah, but it's kind of shocking to imagine that Kanokon actually aired alongside, no, not alongside, but in the same year as Toradora,
Yeah, or Soul Eater for that matter.
Soul Eater, and it was also
Darker Than Black.
airing in the same year that Sebek themselves was making Rain Daughters of Nemesine.
Oh yeah, Menemasine.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I believe the English call it Menemasine.
Does it mean anything actually? Because it's just a word to me.
I'm pretty sure it's a derivative of pseudonym.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna take
the
your
mnemonics.
word on it.
Mnemonics and all that. So yeah, no, it's weird. Bakemonogatari is from 2008 too, I believe. So
Is it?
yes, the original one.
Could be.
I believe it's 2008.
Well-
So it's in a bad year for contention.
Well, we are joined by some Monogatari today, actually. We
Yes,
got,
yeah, that's why I remembered. I
all
was
three
looking
parts
at
of Kizumonogatari here,
it.
with the best waifu before she was ruined.
Oh god. Do you want to know a fun fact? I've listened to the audiobook of Kizumonogatari.
The audiobook.
Yes,
What's
that's
that like?
It's
A bit of a distraction, but
it's actually a team book, as in thematically correct. So every voice has its own voice actor. It's not one narrator, and it has all the sound effects too. But it gave me a wrong perspective on the show, as in I
Alright.
watched the movies afterwards, and I was
that is so weird. But
yes, and I watched the movies and I was like, no, these characters definitely shouldn't look like this.
was that your first encounter with Monogatari?
I believe so, because I wanted to watch it chronological. That bit me in the ass right there.
Yeah, most people don't recommend Kizumonogatari as first.
Well, I was fine with it, actually. Kizumonogatari was actually more interesting than most of the other stuff. To me, at least.
Kizumonogatari is my favorite part.
Yeah. But yeah, enough of that distraction. Have you watched anything else?
Hanabado. I'm gonna be
Hanabado.
reviewing that rather. Just slipped into my Dutch there for a moment. I am going to be reviewing it.
It is a comfortable suit, after all.
Very. I really didn't know anything about badminton, so I asked one of our friends how accurate it was, and he was actually kind of impressed.
Oh, you're claiming my friends as your own now.
He reacts when I send messages, and I think he actually responded to me sooner than to you. So
That's quite a good chance he is. Very sporadic with actually reacting to anyone.
I played some Star Wars game with him.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yes,
I believe.
Fair
enough.
While we were all here, I was seated next to him.
Fair enough.
He made all the alcohol disappear.
Let's not start about that. But Hanabado, you enjoyed that?
I enjoyed it. I'm trying to get more into sports anime. I also watch Ping Pong Animation, and I think those
You
are...
choose the weirdest sport anime to start with,
I
friend.
don't know where to go.
Then ask me, you ding dong.
No.
Crosses arms in indignation. God damn it.
But I kind of enjoy both of those because they both deal with characters that are kind of very flawed individuals that kind of have their interesting character arc through sports. And Hanabado is especially toxic in that regard. The characters are fucking out of their minds.
Yeah, well, I haven't watched the show, so maybe what I've seen is not very proportionate to the show, but the only thing I've seen is sweat and titty jiggle from that anime.
Yeah, that kind of frustrates me. I'm actually kind of plotting like a follow-up article for my review based on that, because I saw that as well. I first learned about the show in the review by Glass Reflection, rather.
Yes.
And that's literally the first thing he starts going on about jiggles and all that.
Because I'm fine with that to a certain degree, but if it's based on sport, I would like it to be primarily about the sport.
I barely even noticed it, actually. The sweat I noticed, but that looks cool. That's like, oh wow, they're
very sweaty girls.
They're going at it. Well, there's boys in it too.
Fair enough.
They're going at it and they're just completely tearing up. They're huffing and out of breath, all sweaty. That looks intense for sports. But like the jiggle physics and such, I hardly even noticed. The other girl, the other main character, who has actually more of this focus throughout the story, doesn't have it at all, as far as I can tell.
Okay, well, while we're talking about sport anime in general, I really have this archetype I really hate. I mean, I've already talked about it, but just the characters that are good, quote unquote, at a certain thing in the sport, but are just a total nimwit in every other regard.
Oh, we talked about that in relation to Haikyuu.
Yes, Haikyuu is by far the worst in my opinion, from what I've seen.
With little orange twit.
Yes, twat. Don't call him twit, just call him twat.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yes. Is Hanabado guilty of that in any sense?
No, the actual setup is that the anime starts and at a match in middle school between the two main characters, and both of those walk away questioning why they're even playing fucking badminton anymore.
Fair enough.
And then it cuts to high school, and one of them is the team captain, and she's driving the team just
to the ground.
Complete tyranny. Everybody is getting tired of her attitude and her training regime.
Yeah.
And the other has kind of stepped out of it, but she gets dragged back into badminton and reigniting the rivalry in the process.
Yeah, I particularly liked Ahiro no Sora, how that started it. As in, he's just literally the smallest kid you can imagine wanting to play basketball.
Yeah, well, that's actually kind of similar to what Haikyuu did, isn't it?
Well, the difference here is he is actually fucking insanely good at it. He's really good at it. He's just very tiny. He can't really dunk or whatever.
Small boy.
Yeah, small boy. But he outplays everyone at the school. But the school's team is just a set of bullies that don't want to play. They just want to have the extracurricular points on the report
so
card.
Everybody is just kind of...
They're not wanting to play basketball, and he tries to get them together. And
it kind of sounds similar to Hibiki Euphonium, actually. The same kind of point. Like...
Yeah, better executed, though, in my opinion. That and the music is by the pillows.
Oh, nice! Wow.
And the animation is just spot on. If you ever get the chance for and want to watch a real good sports anime, I definitely recommend Ahiro no Sora.
How many episodes is that?
52.
52? That's pretty nice.
Yes, that's quite a nice balance, as in it's long enough to develop the characters as much as you need them to, but short enough that you can actually just kind of watch it and not feel desperate.
Because that
just keep watching.
That is one of the points that I would say is kind of against Hanabado. It's that it's, I believe, 13 episodes.
It's a little bit short for a proper sports anime.
It's pretty short, and it's very intensely dramatic, and the drama doesn't really get much room to develop. No. But I do appreciate just how fucking insane it is. Like, it uses like visual styles, visual elements from like horror anime, just to have the characters presented normally when they're playing a game. Like, one of the main girls just looks like she's a yandere character during sports. Just eyes just glazed over, completely focused, just standing there creepily staring her opponent down. It's like...
Okay.
And the smack talk gets so fucking personal. That is just...
Oh dear, that's...
brutal smack talk. Way too personal.
That's one ticket to Knockout City in my case.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
Um,
Don't tell me you haven't watched any weird 80s stuff.
oh, I can do you one better. I think this is from the 70s. I've read Kekko Kamen.
Okay.
Does that ring any bells for you?
None whatsoever.
I've talked about it before. No, I've written about it before, actually. Go Nagai, the author behind Devilman.
Yes.
I believe this is one of his protest manga. Back when he was first starting to kind of develop his style, he was heavily boycotted. And
For being absurdly violent, or?
He used to just write kind of comedy stories,
Okay.
but he branched out and he started making them a little more suggestive and naughty. That got people riled up. And he doubled down hard. And Kekko Kamen is one of the manga, I believe, that followed up from that period, where he's just telling the most extreme stories possible in a story setting.
Okay.
He also wrote Guerrilla High, which was another one of those manga. Guerrilla High is about a war between students and teachers. And literally a war, like just... it's about a guy that goes from school to school shooting up the teachers to liberate the students. Kekko Kamen isn't as extreme. It's about like this special academy run by a very typical like 70s anime villain, just a very weirdly designed hellish character. And all the students there stay there for the entire duration of their studies, and they study 15 hours a day. If they get below a 9, they're punished.
Oh, damn.
And all the teachers are just bullies and torturers, perverts. And suddenly there's a superhero, which is Kekko Kamen, which is just a girl completely nude.
Of course.
Who fights back against the teachers, and her signature move is jumping pussy first into their faces, knocking them out.
Okay, so that's either Link from Soul Calibur 2 or Kasumi from Dead or Alive 2.
I hate that I immediately know what you mean with Soul Calibur.
Spank that ass with your master sword and make him swallow. He wasn't ready for this.
No, but Kekko Kamen, it's a very just monster of the week type story, but really just instead of monster, it's just a new kind of weird teacher with special powers. There's one chapter where they call in this detective who tries to figure out who Kekko Kamen is. There's this one. There's another chapter where the school janitor, which is a guy that wears like a metal helmet and has all kinds of metal powers.
I'm just imagining with the tinfoil hat now.
It is it's more like a big disc, but he has all kinds of metal powers, and he tries to hunt her down because he feels neglected because he isn't getting attention from Kekko Kamen.
Of course not.
It's very Go Nagai. It's very raunchy. It's not as good as Cutie Honey, which is also by him, of course, because Cutie Honey is one of his main franchises. But it is very fun.
Does somebody get lynched?
There's some really extreme stuff in this. There's lots of torture, lots of sexual scenes, crucifixions.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's Go Nagai.
It goes very Go Nagai. Clear.
It goes way too extreme, and it doesn't really justify its content. It's sexual violence, it's extreme imagery, but
it just does.
It's you just gotta accept it with this guy. I respect Go Nagai, but his work wavers in quality, and his
varies.
Yeah, undeniably a bit raunchy.
Yeah. the final point: Go Nagai, big raunchy guy.
Yes.
So, buying anime, manga, merch, or have you watched more? Wait.
No. That was
That's kind of it.
And I think this next segment is indeed a bit of an apology on our side because we were smack talking Arconia a lot in the last episode.
Yes. Let's be clear, if it weren't for Arconia, we couldn't get a lot of anything in here.
We wouldn't be alive.
Well, I don't know about that, but there isn't a lot you can get in the Netherlands without Arconia, that's for damn sure. Either other site would make you pay a lot of import costs.
Yeah,
and extra tax. And
I have actually imported some stuff before.
yeah, I know.
But what set you? When did you start like buying, collecting anime? I believe you had manga before I even met
yes.
you. And
Manga
like,
was very early for me.
you had a few anime, I believe.
Yes, manga I started buying by the age of 7. That was predominantly the Dragon Ball Glenn.
Oh, that's the Dragon Ball manga that you call it in yourself.
Ah, yes, absolute
mentioned
hooligan that I am. Some Kingdom Hearts manga, some Shaman King manga. Yeah, I bought that when it was at the supermarket.
The supermarket?
Yes, the supermarket had manga where I lived. Very interesting. Anime itself.
I think that's mostly after you met me, right? Because
yeah, predominantly. Before that, I have bought some stragglers here and there. Some DVDs that I saw laying around. They never made it far because I have sometimes a mood swing and then I decide to throw out all the stuff that I don't want anymore. So a lot of my old anime was in there. And after that, I have bought the most things from Marconia. And I think the first thing I ordered with you was Soul Eater,
yes,
which you now own.
Which I ended up buying off of you eventually because you wanted to get rid of some stuff.
Yes. And did I buy anything else in particular? I mean, I have the Digimon sets, which are very disappointing. Not doing that again. And, well, I have some other anime, but it's predominantly manga in my case.
And nowadays you don't buy much anymore. I take it that's just because finance is tight and...
Yes, finances are quite tight, so I can't buy if I wanted to. And I also... I almost never use physical media to watch anymore.
Well, I don't use it really for the physical media.
No, but then I kind of feel... then I'd rather buy some merchandise from the anime instead of the Blu-ray sets, but that's me.
Ah, you got your Taigas,
Yes.
statues that are somewhere behind you. I can't see them right now. They're somewhere between a whole lot of Bionicles.
Yes! All the Bionicles. There's never enough Bionicle.
Oh damn, when did I start collecting? I used to have a few VHS anime, but I kind of skipped anime a lot throughout the DVD era.
Yes.
And then I started collecting, I think in 2008 when I got Death Note.
Yes.
Yeah, that was still on DVD. I got Death Note because I passed school, and from there I started slowly expanding. In particular, I remember taking an eternity to buy Elfen Lied. Because my hobby wasn't as pronounced. I was still living with my parents, and I was like, well, they're gonna see what I order. How can I justify this? I spent a long time trying to find an Elfen Lied set that was as decent as possible,
without the titties flopping out on the cover.
Yeah, because there were different sets available from different regions, and
good snaps.
I hear you snapping there. Eventually I bought one, which I believe is the set that's still very popular today, that also got a steelbook release.
Yes.
And it came in, looked fine. Then you open it up, instantly giant nudity pictures
everywhere.
And you take out the DVD, and on the back there's even more screenshots with nudity in it, and inside is, well, the discs of the show, and there's also a big poster with a new
yeah,
new nude. That's a
nude.
That's a tongue twister right there. I'm still collecting nowadays. I think I order like every month about 200 euros of anime.
You mad, man? No,
this stuff is also from Marconia, not a Gundam. I don't know where you got that.
The Gundam I got in... Damn, what's the city called? It was at the Next Level Gaming. The shop doesn't exist anymore.
Oh no, those guys are gone, right?
Yes, Hilversum, or... What was the other one? Amersfoort.
Amersfoort.
Either one of those two. And they had just this set complete in box sitting there. And I was like... And these are out of production since like 2003. So I still want, because I wanted them since I was young. I really liked Gundam and building stuff. I was into K'NEX and Lego when I was young. And I saw these sets in the Intertoys, or the toy store. And I begged my stepmom at that time to buy them for me, but she wouldn't give. So now I have a harboring grudge. Every time I see one of them, the original sets, I need to buy them. I have 2.
Oh, man.
And this is one of them.
Little Petri was fortunate that he didn't get to go to like TomoCon and other conventions, because they got stacks upon stacks of like these build-your-own Gundam sets.
Yeah, but I'm very particular. I really want the old 2003 sets. And none other.
Yeah, because you're a fan of Gundam Wing.
Yeah, but Gundam Wing sets are still being produced.
But you're also a fan of Gundam 00.
Oh yes, definitely. But I only have a connection for the figurines, for the built-in kits for Wing. So yeah, I really wanted those. And I only particularly want the 2000.
Oh wait, is this one of those build sets that I see at conventions all the time?
Probably.
Huh. Oh damn, that looks actually pretty damn nice.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not very particular about shaving off the nubbins. Because if you're a real diehard, you shave off the breakpoints from the plastic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like doing that.
Yeah, I've played Warhammer. I'm familiar with the practice.
Yeah.
I'm also familiar with the complete and utter frustration. This is at least sizable, but if you have to do it for like entire armies of Skitarii, it starts getting really annoying.
Yes, definitely. No, I still really like these figurines. When I see them, I buy them.
But you mentioned it as well. You prefer to watch media digitally.
Yes.
Totally understandable. Streaming and such, it's the way to go nowadays.
It's just far easier.
But I think there's still like a pretty good community for... even if they don't watch it physically, like I usually don't actually use my physical copies, I think there's still a good amount of collectors out there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Certainly enough to fill many, many conventions a year.
Oh yes, yeah, it's just weird for me. I don't really like buying Blu-rays or DVDs for that matter and not watching them. Feels kinda superfluous. I'd rather than buy some merchandise. But it is just... Most things I want merchandise of are very obscure series nobody really likes, so I can't find anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's rather unfortunate, but I still have the Tengen Toppa drill plushie.
There's a few series that I feel so absolutely blessed that I've been able to find them. I have, I believe, an Australian copy of Simone.
Oh dear.
That was not findable anywhere outside of like Malaysian bootlegs and such.
Yeah. No, the only real rare thing... I don't even know if I have anything particularly rare. I mean, I have the Digimon sets, but those are just bargain bin shit. If I
we mentioned it last time. You have Haibana Renmei. You have Pantheon Stocking. That's a collector's edition.
Yeah, well... Arconia said it to be the collector's edition, but only the right stuff version was the collector's edition. We just got the normal version.
Yeah, okay, but you got it in a different box than what you usually get.
Well, this box is still available. Also, there's still one show I'm holding over your head. And you know damn well which one that is. He's trying to think.
Yeah,
it's a certain special edition.
I'm kind of unable to... Oh, Toradora.
If I see a special edition, the good one, you're buying it. Mm-hmm. You're not getting out of that one.
No, I've actually agreed to that.
Yes. Oh, that still hurts my soul.
Understandable. I want to correct what I said earlier. If I rewatch a series that I have on Blu-ray, I do tend to kind of use the Blu-ray copy that I have instead of streaming.
I mean...
kind of make it feel more special.
I'd fucking hope so, since I modded a PS3 for you for it. So that you can watch multiple...
I have used it, actually. I have used it. I've used it for Mariah the Virgin Witch, which I have on Blu-ray, but that's the American copy.
Take good care of it. It's my PS3. As in, that's my original 2009 PS3.
It is being taken care of.
Good.
But kind of what I like about streaming is that you can just kind of do it casually, just while you have something
device.
while you have anything on the side. And when I use the Blu-ray, use a Blu-ray copy, it kind of feels more special, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna watch it on TV, and I don't want to be distracted.
You kind of have to plan around it, make sure that's just the only thing you're gonna do.
But for series that I actually got on Blu-ray, usually I'm willing to make that effort. Like if I'd rewatch Kizumonogatari, I'd totally be down to actually just free up time, free up the television, and just watch Kizumonogatari on the big screen with snacks and nothing else on the side.
Fair enough.
So I do use them. That makes me kind of regret, because when I started collecting anime, when I intensified my collecting of anime, there was like a period where I was like, well, I'm probably not going to use it when I rewatch it, so I'm just going to get DVDs, because those are like
a bit cheaper.
Yeah, those are a few euros cheaper.
Just to clear things up, because usually when you buy it at Arconia, they have the sets which contain both Blu-ray and the DVD version.
Yeah.
Often.
Oh, yeah, that's a common thing, yes.
So that's why the DVDs were a lot cheaper.
I believe your Serial Experiment Lane copy is actually a DVD
it has both.
Blu-ray special combo.
Yes, it has both.
Yeah, but for example, I ended up getting Madoka Magica on DVD.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, if I'm gonna rewatch Madoka, I'm probably gonna do it on stream.
Yes, fair enough.
And I still need to replace it with a Blu-ray copy, because if I'm gonna rewatch Madoka, it's gonna be a special thing.
Fair enough. Yeah, I still have some anime that I want. I still really want the Toradora set, but I want the Toradora set, a very particular one.
I have a normal set of Toradora.
And Tengen Toppa I already have, because the Blu-ray set and the DVD sets are pretty much identical.
Yeah.
But I really want Kateki Yoshi, Hitman Reborn.
Mm-hmm.
But the copy that's at Arconia, that's an Eastern Star box set. And I really don't want to give them any more money.
I think we talked about Eastern Star before, right?
Yes, because the Digimon box sets are also from Eastern Star.
Yeah.
They're just interlaced 480i bullshit.
I considered getting the Metabot set for you at some point for your birthday, but that is also Eastern Star. I was like, yes. I think he's done with those.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you buy that, there's literally a chance that the Fox Kids logo is still somewhere in that DVD.
That is pretty horrible.
Yeah, no, I really don't think Eastern Star should be selling what they are selling.
For the price that they are selling it at.
Well, I mean, price-wise, they aren't that bad. I mean, it's like €1 an episode, usually.
Yeah, if you consider like how many episodes these shows that they get a license have, yeah.
But if you're judging purely from quality, it's not worth a penny.
And there's do you have like pet peeves when it comes to buying anime?
Ooh, what particular sense are we talking about?
To give an example, I have several sets by Anime Limited. And they have a very standard way of releasing like their limited editions. It's a carton box, usually with a minimalist design to it. And what they do is that they have removable covers.
Yes.
The covers are just, for example, I have erased, and instead of like having text on the back, they have this stickery thing label on the back that's attached, and that's semi-attached. It's a bit loose, even if you just bought it new, and it's slightly not put on straight, and it just looks bad because the box for erased is this very cool minimalist design.
Yes.
Like the first volume is this white design with Kaio, like she's walking through the snow, and the second is a black box with a spider, which is thematic for the series. Precisely. And then you turn it around, you just have this colorful piece of paper stuck to it with all the text, which is slightly crooked.
I know another certain set that you don't like. The safe sets.
I'm fine with the Funimation safe sets. I have Bamboo Blade. Okay,
because I talked to you a while ago and you were kinda not liking them back then? Because the box sets just, they have this giant green spine and they take away from the artwork on the side and the front.
No, that's actually not an Anime Limited box set.
No, I know, but there's the safe sets.
Yeah.
Which I have.
Oh yeah, I don't mind those really.
Okay.
But if we're talking about big, ugly green back covers, the Made in Abyss box set by Anime Limited. Same stupid label that's crooked, but the coloring is also just so ugly.
No, I don't really think I have a particular pet peeve. Well, there are small things. I have a Final Fantasy Unlimited box set, and it's just, it's a carton sleeve that's 2 DVD box sets with, but there are like 5 DVD plastic boxes in there, like the really tiny, slim ones.
Oh, the light boxes.
Yes, and I don't like those.
Yeah, my original, the Death Note set that I have also has those very thin light boxes, and my set for Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, I don't really like those.
Yeah, that's just a like space-saving measure, really.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really think I have pet peeves. I mean, I have one, but that's not on anime.
I was about to say removable covers on manga.
Oh god! Yeah.
The one that comes to mind immediately is a few copies that I have from Junji Ito, hardcover, and then you have this removable paper sleeve that's always going to get damaged. It's always in the way. What are you gonna?
Yeah, it's also in just normal paperbacks. It's also normal paperbacks and hardcover books.
Yeah, I've seen
it's
it
not
also
exclusive.
On paperbacks as well. It's
not exclusive to manga, but I still don't get why they're there to begin with.
Just have a cover. Why have this?
Also, what I really don't like, I don't think I have it here. It's on the other room. Manga that are actually reversed.
Oh, like flipped around, like what they used to do, yeah.
Yes, so that it's more normal, quote unquote. It trips me up every time because my Shaman King is flipped.
Really?
Yeah, it's obnoxious as shit. You open the cover and I'm like, wait, this is wrong.
This isn't so special because you've shown it before with your Dragon Ball Z box set, but I was in Nijmegen once and they had, in a random comic book store, they had a single volume of Oh My Goddess in Dutch, reversed.
I can't stand that stuff.
I've seen a few like small teams like YouTubers doing Dutch dubs of shows. I've seen a Dutch dub of Higurashi. I've seen a Dutch dub of Bleach way back.
Is that like Air Bleach? Because I can only imagine it to be.
Well, it's horrible, but it's enjoyably horrible because we speak this accursed language.
Yes, cursed indeed.
I love it.
Yes, but, especially since nobody can actually speak the damn language. But even the Dutch people themselves. Sorry, I had to do it.
Oh, fair. But to see it like in an official product, like reading your Flemish copies of fucking Dragon Ball.
Yes, which also bastardized the names. That is the worst part. Because I was sorting them yesterday because I was cleaning. And it said,
good job.
Farewell, Son Goku.
Oh god, they fucked up the honorifics.
No, it's not honorifics. His name is Son Goku. As in, his family name is Son. And they made it Son for some godforsaken reason because they thought it was a honorific.
Oh, I thought it was like Goku-san or something like that.
No, I don't even think anybody in the show ever calls him Goku-san. I think it's just Goku all the time. I'm trying to think. To be fair, I'm still... you're gonna keep me to this. Next time we're going to... Oh, yes, touch my finger. Next time we're podcasting, I'm going to be at least halfway through the Saiyan saga of the original Japanese dub of Dragon Ball Z. Because that's the only version of Dragon Ball Z I haven't gotten around to watching.
Okay, can you repeat that? Because that was a lot of words, some of which I don't understand. Halfway through the Cell saga?
Saiyan saga. Oh, damn, the Cell saga. That would be more than 100 episodes.
Halfway through the Saiyan saga of the...
original Japanese dub.
Original Japanese dub of Dragon Ball Z. Kai?
No, just normal Dragon Ball Z. Because after 2008, 7, every box set after that particular time had redone voices for Japanese and the English voice cast. And I have heard the original English cast. I have heard it with the new cast. I've heard the new Japanese dub. I have not gone around to the old Japanese dub, which is actually fucking horrible. Because I've watched one episode and I've watched it on the CRT like a good boy. I almost threw off the red cat there. And I'm still planning on watching it on the CRT, actually. I still have all the episodes on the USB stick in the PS2 right now.
You gotta explain this jerry-rigged fucking setup we got going on here sometime, but not now.
No, I just want to say that this image is being run off a PS2. Take that as you will.
Explain it on the podcast sometime.
So I at least want to do that. Because I know that the depressive period is coming up for me, so I know I'm going to watch anime, and I'm probably not going to watch new anime, because I'm just preposterously bad at watching new anime.
Well, Dragon Ball not new at all for you.
Nope, so I'm going to rewatch that again, and I'm going to do it, damn it. So, after, 40 minutes, let's get into the news.
Let's get into the news. We got quite a few things, actually. I was kind of contemplating that we might not get anything.
No, yeah, it's just, I do the standard thing as in procrastinating, and then on Friday, just before the podcast, just throw in some news articles that interest me.
Alright, shall I take the first one?
Yes.
I actually looked into this a bit. Made in Abyss anime gets second TV anime season and an action RPG in 2022. Made in Abyss, adventure, the adventure anime that's released in 2018, I believe, 2019?
18, I believe, yes. It was definitely before the pandemic.
It was definitely before the pandemic. No, that was a really amazing anime TV series.
And the Penkin soundtrack.
Yeah.
That soundtrack.
And about two little kids, a robot wreck and a little adventuring girl that go on... they go into the abyss, the giant hole around...
A literal hole in the ground.
Literal hole in the ground on which the city has been built around.
Yes.
I actually get the names right. I forget the name of the girl, actually, because it's been years.
Oh, yes. I'm not even going to give you shit for that.
It's been a few years since I've seen it now, but it's finally getting its second season. It got a few movies, one of which I've been informed is actually a sequel movie, so I gotta watch that as well. But it's getting its second season, and I look really forward to that. But also new is that Spike Chunsoft is developing a 3D action RPG for it.
Yeah, that's kind of weird to me.
I've seen...
I just to go to Made in Abyss in general, I really like how it's Madoka doing the Madoka thing. Oh, it's all cute and stuff, and then we get the blob scene.
Yeah, that's trying not to spoil anything for anybody.
No,
that's
I'm
still
just
waiting
saying
to
the
catch
blob
up.
scene. That's all you get.
The blob scene, yes.
Oof.
Just like Elfenlied, the dog scene. Everybody knows what you're on about.
I mean, Elfenlied is not pretending to be cute for the first 25 minutes. Yeah, Elfenlied literally starts with a naked chick decapitating people.
I remember... Did I say that to you, actually? I'm not sure, but when I first started watching Made in Abyss, on your recommendation... I was watching it like the first 2-3 episodes or so. I was like, wow, this is a fun adventure story. Little kids exploring this ominous hole and you don't know what's lurking at the very bottom of it. Wow, this is kind of adventure story I'd watch with hypothetical offspring.
Until...
and a few episodes in, I was like, oh
no.
Well, let's not do that because I think the offspring will be taken away from me very rapidly. It is very grim adventure.
Yes, I really like the style which it has going to.
It has a very interesting tone. Like it's not constantly depressive. There's no turning point where it goes from fun adventure to just constant depression. Like they definitely know what they're getting into. Yeah,
they're not getting straggled into it. They just already know we can have a good time, but shit, we can get decapitated by a giant worm any moment right now.
Yeah, literally any moment.
So I really liked it.
It's very perilous in that way.
Yeah, but a game based on it, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I've been looking at screenshots of the game, and it does look kind of good. It does visually, it's not too impressive, but I was like,
yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be released on the Switch too.
Maybe.
It's Spike Chunsoft.
I got the Switch in my living room. I'm not playing Made in Abyss on that.
Oh no, definitely not. But it's not going to be visually impressive if it's going to be released on the Switch.
Oh, you mean? No, I get you. No, it's not too visually impressive, but the concept sounds interesting. If they can make
the world is interesting.
Yeah, if they can make the exploration organic, that'd be really cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool to explore.
But I gotta say, it's Spike Chunsoft. They're not very good at being deep, so I know it will be janky.
Spike Chunsoft also made the Attack on Titan video games, I believe, right?
Yes, and those are pretty jank.
I don't know, because you put them on my Vita, and the Vita is dead.
Well, I can't help that.
Dead on arrival.
What wasn't dead? Just the battery shit. I can help that.
Yeah. Well, that's a follow-up from a few episodes ago. Vita's still broken.
Yes, new battery is going to be ordered.
How are you feeling about season 2? Did you watch those movies?
Also, just Made in Abyss is a beautiful series, but the first time a friend recommended it to me, I kept mishearing it. As in maiden, as in a woman in Abyss, and I just kept. I was just looking at him crooked, like, "What kind of hentai do you want me to watch, buddy?"
I'm desperately scrolling around trying to remember what the names of the main characters. I remember Rag, but I forgot everything else. Actually, the movies. 2 of the movies are recaps.
Yes.
I can do this smart. I can watch the recap movies, the sequel movie, and then go on to see.
Yes, that's generally what they're made for, Mr. Smarty Pants.
Oh. God. Rico. Fuck, that's it. Rico.
Well, there we have it.
Yeah. Oh, man, that took me a while. Yeah, but are you gonna watch it? I take it, right?
Probably. I really enjoyed what I saw, so yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I want to see where it goes, and
well, I'm going to be real. I expect it to just be disappointing by the end of it, because just like One Piece and all such things, it just keeps building and building and building, and the expectations are just kind of unmeetable.
I guess, but from what I believe, from what I understand, One Piece has a very infinite world,
it's just in general. I mean, what good other things, like a Naruto, you know where it's going. There's a conflict, it ends. You can't really be mad at it. But if they're just building up to a mystery that you don't know anything about, and it just gets there, it's going to be disappointing.
The trapdoor, the basement from Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
for example.
Like that, indeed. It's just always going to be disappointing, no matter what.
Well, what I do appreciate is that Made in Abyss has a very clear structure.
Yes.
You
have the levels and the whistles.
Yeah, because the original plot is about Rico. She wants to go down into the abyss to find her mother, who's been missing for like yonks.
Yes.
And you have you know exactly where she is and how many floors down that is. And I believe they got pretty far throughout season 1.
Yes, there are other complications with going lower, which the series is handling. As I said, the world building is brilliant. Yeah. I really like that. The backstory, it's just very well supported. It doesn't feel like the writer was like, it
doesn't pull punches.
It just it doesn't seem really at the spot. It's really thought through, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I'm very interested and also just emotionally attached, because it makes it very clear that this whole adventure is a suicide mission, really.
Pretty much, yes. Yeah, because they didn't have permission to go in the hole, and, they are in the hole, so...
Like, even grown adults struggle to survive as far down as they would have to go. And
yes.
Yeah, a lot of the adults that are still down there have gone absolutely fucking mad.
Yes, you'd have to watch the show to see that, but
it's intense. I look forward to it, really.
Yes, definitely. Yes, it's as I said, it's being developed for the Switch. I see it in the top now. Are you going to try and pronounce the title of it? I want to see you struggle and pronounce that.
I already closed the news item. Give me a second.
I want to see if you can struggle and try to pronounce it.
Is this your new hobby? Trying to make me pronounce Japanese crap?
Oh yes, that's just generally fucking beautiful.
Let me see. Made in Abyss, Retsujitsu no Ogonkyo.
That wasn't even that bad.
I don't know what it means though. Made in Abyss, the sun blazes upon the golden city.
Well, there you go. I don't know what it means.
It said it was 2 lines down.
I know.
Well,
but yeah, it's also for the Switch, so yeah, it can't be that impressive visually.
Yeah, I'm a bit down on the game. I might buy that on like a sale or something. If I'm still really invested at that point, I might.
Very maybe.
Yeah.
Next up.
Oh, I'm letting you have this one.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Hey, I gotta do the release rundown afterwards. You can handle this. You're a big boy.
I'm a big boy that hates isekais. Isekai Museum featuring ReZero Overlord Konosuba Saga of Tanya the Evil releases. Yeah, promotion video. Well, whoop the effing do.
Sorry. I was very careful with my drinking there because I didn't want to choke again. I think I looked kind of inhuman.
I don't know. Didn't watch your face.
I was very intently looking at the camera drinking.
I say I hate isekais, but to be fair, everything in here is the isekai that I kind of okay with. Overlord, outstanding, because Overlord just gets really boring by season 3.
Yeah.
ReZero, I still have to watch the rest, but I really despise the whole part 1, part 2 of a season shenanigans that's going on.
Legit?
So I believe part 2 is done now, so I might be watching that. Konosuba, I still have to watch the second season.
Oh, I'm up to date with Konosuba, actually.
Yeah, I still need to watch the movie and the second season. And Saga of Tanya the Evil is just... The movie has the best quote in anime ever.
Yes, you actually mentioned it before.
You're hard-working and incompetent, bitch! I still love that line.
That movie was very fun.
Yeah.
But yes, this museum will feature all sorts of materials related to the TV series and movies. Which I believe includes all kinds of cell animations, storyboards, key animations, and artwork for those 4 series.
Yeah.
Which I believe, what was that stupid fucking GB anime called again? That also had all these shows together.
Isekai Quartet.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy that one, but I am kind of still invested in Saga of Tanya the Evil. ReZero I need to play catch up on, and Konosuba I enjoyed, so I'd be interested in that. And the actual art for Overlord is really cool. I've completely fallen out with the story since like most of the way through season 2, but the art is so cool, and I do kind of still check in. I'd still watch because this is actually joined by news that Overlord is getting its 4th season now.
Oh dear. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just announced actually.
Yeah, I'll watch it when it probably when it releases. And the problem is nothing is happening in 3 seasons. So unless something is happening in this the particular season, I don't even think I'm going to pick up where I left.
It's very stagnant. I do still check in on it, but yeah, the love's gone. Season 1 was fantastic. I was really into that. I could really relate to it because I played a lot of MMORPGs when I was a teenager.
Yeah, I just like the power trip aspect of it. Just this dude kind of trying to be social, but not having the skills for it, but having all the power in the world.
He has to roleplay an evil villain, even though he's like a fucking salaryman or something.
Yes, he's just this nice dude trying to make a living, but now he's this all-powerful deity, pretty much.
Yeah, because actually that's like the missing fifth component here. Where's Death March of the Paraworld Rhapsody?
No, just no. Rolf and I make the worst jokes about that anime, which I can't make on this podcast. So we're not calling that anime by name ever again.
Safety. No, but if you compare it to other anime, it was interesting to have him watch him trying to struggle with the roleplay aspect, trying to be impressive in front of these evil creatures that he's designed himself like way back in his youth.
Yes.
It was really cool. And what I liked, you mentioned Power Trip, but Season 1 also just had genuine threat. It had a big final battle. It was really...
I wouldn't say that personally, because he knows damn well he can beat her and will beat her. He just has the restriction of doing it in a particular way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's kind of what you have to do, right? You mentioned this when we were watching One Punch Man, that most of the challenge is trying to get Saitama actually involved and up to date on the story, because the actual resolution is simple.
Yeah, him having to punch guy. But there's not... that was not really the point with Overlord. There wasn't really a threat, because it kind of has to turn out a certain way. It wasn't going to be any other way unless there was a sacrifice made, but this was definitely not the anime that's going to sacrifice things.
No.
That's not the tone they were going with.
I get the impression that the original author for Overlord is really fucking attached to his characters.
Either that or he's an A1 director.
I believe this was originally made by Madhouse. I'm not sure who's doing it now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too.
Not sure if they're still doing it.
I don't think it change studio.
Like I said, I kind of stopped caring about Overlord, so I didn't keep up to date with all the design stuff for it.
Me neither.
But yeah, interesting museum. We're not gonna see it because Japan.
Nope.
But they did upload several quizzes that you can take, which I'm also not gonna do because I'm not up to date on half these series.
I'm not up to date to 3/4 of these series.
Okay. Well, interesting, fun little tidbit.
Next, anime listed schedule update for June and July. So that's all yours.
Yes, Anime Limited. And this might have been more fun to do if I hadn't just complained about their quality box sets. But truth be told, they are licensing things that really, really needed new releases.
Fair enough.
And we're getting quite a few of them. One of them is already out, which is Mobile Suit Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory, which is a standard Blu-ray box set. We're also getting, on May 10th, Persona 5 The Animation Part 1, and also K7 Stories. On May 26th, we're getting Your Name 4K edition. You like quality?
Yes, I like that.
I do not have a 4K TV.
I have a 4K TV. I have nothing to play it on because the PS4 doesn't take 4K Blu-rays, which is kind of dumb. I may be wrong. Maybe they added it with an update, but I'm pretty sure the only console that takes 4K Blu-rays is the Xbox One, and then particularly the S and the X. Not even going to speculate.
I am not too familiar with it. On June 7th, we're getting Turn A Gundam Part 1. On June 14th.
Oh god, have you ever heard the opening of Turn A Gundam?
No, I still need to watch Turn A Gundam.
Turn A. I generally really like Gundam openings, but damn, Turn A, the first opening, is a special sack of shit.
On June 14th, we got quite a few. We got Lupin the Third, The Woman Called Fujiko Mine. We got Eureka 7 High Evolution, Persona 5 Part 2, and Mobile Suit Gundam F91. On June 21, we got Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt, Bandit Flower. On June 28, Love Live the School Idol movie. Also Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Part 2. July 12th, Turn A Gundam Part 2. And then finally on July 26th, we got Beastars Season 1 and The Future Diary, which is very overdue for a decent release because the Future Diary releases were crap.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh man, I can show you art for that. I think I used it in a few articles because the art for the old box sets was horrible.
Yeah. Do you have any particular thoughts on Future Diary? Because in recent years, I really think people started to get down on it. It was quite hyped when it was new, and the longer it goes on, more people seem to have started a hate boner for it.
I think it was never exactly good, but it was very iconic, and I kind of appreciate it for that. It is the default yandere anime.
I was about to say, it popularized yandere, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. It really put it in. Still, if you look for yandere characters,
you
know Kazai, absolutely.
And the fucking dart scene.
Sorry, help me.
Ding! Dart to the eye.
I actually didn't remember that clearly. I have a lot of scenes from Mirai Nikki that kind of stood out for me, but that's not one of them actually.
I still kind of like the series. I just don't freaking like Yuki.
Oh yeah.
As in, he is the archetype I hate so much. Everyone kind of knows what's going on, and he's just being dragged into it, and he has to kind of win. And he's just never wants to be anywhere in that show.
No, he's trying to very actively avoid the plot.
Yes.
But I was kind of okay with it when I watched it. I was in the hype, so you're more tempted to kind of let things slide. But if you look back on it, a lot of the story is kind of stupid. A lot of the characters are are like nonsensical. Yeah, you got like everything is so fucking wild. You got like detective characters that are right from a thriller. You got that mommy character that's like.
You kind of have the sense that it's set in kinda the real world, but then you have the dog episode.
Oh yeah,
where the dogs have, for some reason, metal jaws and stuff.
What about the cooking mama woman? That's also like one of the least relevant characters.
Or the Power Ranger.
Yeah, also. But that was actually.
But you already have this. Okay, this is the weird part. It's dark, the show, and its subject matter. But then you have the the blind girl episode, and that just takes it a whole across the fucking hill.
Yeah.
Then it was dark, but enjoyable dark, and then you get the really uncomfortable dark shit with her.
Yeah, and that's then backed. That episode shares time with the Power Rangers reference.
Yes, and the tone mismatch really fucks that particular episode.
Yeah, but it's also not the prettiest show, and
I don't think it's well animated, well enough. I mean, definitely if you compare it with other stuff from that year.
Don't have much of a comparison immediately in mind.
Fair enough. No, I don't think it's worse than any particular other show from that season.
Is there anything else on this list that you'd find interesting? Because Gundam, we were talking about that a lot. We got a Gundam? We have Gundam.
I have Gundam.
It's
Gundam Wing or Gundam Seed is interesting. I still need to finish it, but because there's a certain character in that show which really grinds my gears.
I think I skipped over that when I just did the rundown, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. So I'm taking it.
I failed.
No, I still think I'm going to enjoy Gundam Seed when I watch it again, but I still kind of have to get myself over a particular character in that show. You have Alistair. She is daughter of this influential dude, and she is entitled, manipulative, and a bitch to boot.
All of your favorite personality traits in one woman.
Yeah, oh no, I really can't stand her. Turn A, I still need to watch Turn A, so I can't really say anything about that. Eureka 7, I've only watched the first season. When it aired, I don't remember anything. I need to rewatch that.
Yeah, that's actually also for me, because Turn A Gundam and Eureka 7 are both anime that are just high on my, oh god, I still gotta do this list.
Yes. The only Gundam that's not in here, which I really like, is that weird, though I think I've watched an episode with you. With you and Dan, probably both. The Reconquista NG.
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit was weird.
That was, I don't know where that ties into anything, actually. I'm not sure.
I think it's
at all.
UC.
Is it UC?
I believe it's UC.
Wow, that's way, way out of where I have explored of UC thus far, actually, then.
Because I was particularly interested in that anime back in the day because it was so 80s in 2014, it hurt. You just watch it and you're like, wow, this is the most upscaled, remastered 80s anime ever. But it's just made in 2014.
I could probably enjoy that with my current tastes.
Oh yes, I still enjoyed it back then. I didn't finish it because that was the season we decided to watch everything. That didn't turn out that well.
We are very, very stupid people sometimes.
Yes, because that was...
Over-ambitious. Not stupid, over-ambitious.
That was also the season that had Akama get kill and all such. I really didn't like that. No, further on this list, no, I don't really think I have anything I'm interested in. I mean, I really like Demon Slayer. But
I
once
gotta watch
again,
that still. I got that on the list with my other friend.
You really should watch that. I think
I mentioned on the podcast before. I keep seeing these statues everywhere of the guy that's like half pig.
Yes!
We were so fascinated by him that we wanted to watch the show. He looks so fun.
Oh,
and you mentioned the character that's kind of a coward, but
yes.
once he's cornered, he goes apeshit.
Yes, not even apeshit. It's just pure controlled death. There's just death.
Yeah.
Just to give you some context of the show. Every character has a particular sword style they're using, and they have dances.
Okay.
And every dance is a particular special move, and every style has about 3, 4, whatever. His has just one. It's all he ever needs. There's just one dance and nothing else.
And besides that, Beastars also seems interesting. I actually got on my shortlist. I have the Africa Salaman. Salaryman. What the fuck did I just say? Actually,
Sallyman.
This is what happens when you mess with the equipment for so long that it's actually dinner time and we still got to record.
I'm sorry, okay. Yeah, I'm not Beastars. No, I don't like furry shit in general, and I'll probably watch it sometime, but I can't get myself over my hate right now.
Montana Jones.
Yes, as I said, in the last episode, I said this too. I'm a fucking hypocrite. As I said, I'm still going to watch it when I can set myself over my petty hate for it. But, no.
Very well, that is the release schedule, and the next news item is definitely for you.
Yes, Golden Kamuy, manga enters climax. So yeah, I've watched both seasons. On the opening is by Man with a Mission. There we go. That's all I need.
Yeah, that's like...
I'll watch 100 episodes of this stuff just to hear that opening. Yeah, I'm interested in that. As in, I still need to read the manga of it because I kind of want to know where it goes, and it's starting to fade in my memory.
Jesus fucking Christ, that's 277 chapter.
Oh, that's quite short, actually.
Fuck off.
Fuck off, he says. I usually read Naruto and stuff. That's like 700 plus.
I've had the volume of the manga I've been reading next to my bed for like the past 2 weeks, which is the last 5 chapters of a 16-chapter story. I just keep postponing it.
Yeah, it's funny because when I set myself to finally read a manga, I go through it like it's nothing. Because if I start the Golden Kamuy today, I'm probably done by the end of tomorrow.
I sigh because I know it's true.
Yes. And yeah, I really need to pick up the manga personally because I'm, as I said, the anime is starting to fade in my memory. I still know most plot points and why I really liked it and where it left off. But it's starting to fade, the little things about characters, what they done, where they are, what the small plot points was. So I really want to read, and this seems to be quite a good time to jump in since it's almost done. So it's probably not done tomorrow, but...
Would you start off on like the chapter that corresponds with where the manga left off?
Yeah,
where the anime left off. Sorry,
I have no clue where that would be. I really like this is still a pet peeve of mine. Pet peeve, a feature request, I should call it, a function in AniList or a website in itself where you can plug in an anime which has a manga. And it just spits out which chapter you should read from where the anime ends.
Yeah, it's usually not too difficult to find out, but it would be nice.
Yes, because with One Piece, I actually kind of sort of want to pick up the manga, but I'm definitely not going to read where I left off or from the start again. I want to continue where I left off, which is episode 384. Now... One Piece isn't that hard because it has the whole sagas and arc things. So I can just go to a particular arc. So that's not a huge problem, but there are other anime which have more of an issue with this. I believe Scum's Wish actually made an entire manga after where the anime ended, so that people are not confused.
I believe there was Citrus. You told me about that.
I believe it's Scum's Wish. Scum's Wish The Seer, I believe it's called. And I think that's the follow-up after where the anime ends. I believe. But yeah, Golden Kamuy, I still really enjoy that show. Character art is just perfect. It's in a really weird time. I mean, Vinland Saga also does it. It's just a time where
very underexplored in like this
either
medium.
Underexplored or because it's just a weird time to make anything out of, because it's a mix of how do you say this? It's a mix of the least interesting parts about particular things. For combat, you only have like the slow single shot rifles. Swords are really not being used anymore. So you can't really make the most interesting action scenes, but this rolls with it quite good. As in, the main character does judo. And it's very gruesome. And very particular about the things. I mean, Golden Kamuy is not for the... if you have a easily upset stomach.
But you mentioned Vinland Saga. That's just low medieval ages, right? I believe.
Yeah, but that's also quite a weird time for anime to do.
Yeah, okay, it's weird for anime, but it's because you mentioned that it was like the boring period of history.
Yeah, quite. I mean...
I do get what you mean. It's a very niche period, because if you... like very popular setting would be like Rurouni Kenshin, like end of the samurai era, but this seems to be a bit post that.
Yeah, this is the Russia Sino-Japanese War.
Yeah,
which is a controversial time.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Like that
Yes.
alone, that premise of being set in that period of time alone would sell the anime to me.
What I particularly like is the point where it doesn't favor either side. It's not bringing politics into the war. It's just about the motivations of the characters, which I really like because
All right.
the Japanese have a tendency to paint the picture in their in their best picture, let's say, in their best interest.
Mm-hmm.
And this just keeps it quite stable, I think. Quite uncolored.
I'm gonna have to cancel my vacation to Japan.
Oh dear.
Because I don't know if these statements will pass. Actually, your statements I can just deny.
I mean, the Chinese are more into the listening to me and not permitting me access to the country. The Japanese don't really care.
That's fine. Shall we move on?
Yes, let's move on.
Okay, this is a last-minute inclusion by myself because I found it absolutely hilarious. Crunchyroll is partnering with Gucci to release a set of apparel and clothes for Bananya.
Of all things.
Fucking Bananya.
And Gucci too. For Christ's sake. What is this world? Nobody, I mean, there's already a very small percentage of people who've actually watched Bananya. Let's be real here.
I'm real.
You're the weird one here, so that's a given. But then you combine it with Gucci and you get shirts and sweaters and all that. That's $1,200 and $450. Who's buying this?
Yeah.
You're literally the only one in the category that's actually making enough money and having watched this. I mean, this is the 1% of the 1% category.
And I don't know if you can judge by my general clothing style, but I am not exactly a Gucci person.
No. You're the opposite of a Gucci person. Track pants and a t-shirt are fine.
They can't see the pants. For all they know, I'm in nice suit.
Yes. Very tight-fitting suit pants. Absolutely.
But Bananya is very lovable. I like it. But
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wow, I would not pay the 450 euros for the bottom tier merchandise for it.
No.
Like,
It's just weird.
It is so weird. I suppose this is Crunchyroll's marketing? It is
Question mark?
way to draw attention to a very small series.
Yeah, I
Like
suppose
Bananya
so.
is just a few shorts. It's like 2 seasons of anime shorts. Don't really have much
and
of a story.
Is it Sanrio?
Is it Sanrio? I don't
don't
think so, actually.
No, so that's even less of a link. I mean, Sanrio characters have a lot of merchandise and all this. Bananya is... Well, it's just Bananya.
Yeah, but I think not a research statement, but I think that Sanrio has enough power to just kind of make their own
yes, but they
merchandise.
can-
They don't have to put Gucci on it.
No, definitely. But they can partner with Gucci and it would make... Again?
Again.
He spilled more water on himself.
Why do you have such fucking...
You have used this glass all the weeks and you haven't spilled. You fuck nugget. Don't blame the glass.
I will.
You shithead. But the point I was trying to make, if Sanrio partnered with Gucci, it's kind of more logical. But yeah, no, that's just a weird one.
Yeah, this was delightfully weird news.
I also just want to say you have turned a delightful shade of tomato.
Because I'm laughing so much. I'm choking on the water because I'm laughing.
Don't do that then, you dum-dum.
I don't want a straw. I don't want a straw.
I'll give you a sippy cup next time.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Funimation releasing Ghost in the Shell for 4K UHD on July 12th.
Yeah, not a last minute inclusion by you.
Yes, I mean, all my inclusions are last minute.
Last minute. But really cool news all the same.
Yes, I'm kind of curious if this is actually remastered from the film, as in the actual material, the film, or if it's remastered digitally.
Okay, I'm not too familiar with like
Well, if you just
video and
if you upscale digitally and remaster it digitally, you lose fidelity.
Okay.
As in, it's just resampling a lower resolution version and touching it up, between quotes.
All right.
And actually remastering it from the film, you can just analogically scan the film again, just at a higher resolution. And yes, you get more imperfections that way, but the imperfections that you smooth over then are a lot sharper because the general film is then just far higher quality. So yeah, I'm kind of... I'm not entirely sure if they did that. It would be nice, though. And do you have any connection to Ghost in the Shell?
We watched it together, actually. I actually originally bought Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex.
Yes.
That was actually the anime I bought to kind of cover up that I was also buying Elfen Lied, what I mentioned earlier.
Banger of an opening.
Absolutely. But I never watched the original Ghost in the Shell until you invited me to watch it with you. Yeah,
funnily enough, you chose a series with titties to cover up for a series with even more titties.
The Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex set that really
doesn't do that. The movie itself, I really liked.
Yeah, I was Standalone Complex. I was kind of about. I'm not really that much of a sci-fi person, and I wasn't really sold on its universe. But then I watched the movie, and
the movie sells it so much better than the show.
It is
the
absolutely
tone,
amazing.
The actual art for the city. Oh, I love it.
I sometimes you still just hear the making of Cyborg kick in.
Yes, definitely.
Themes.moe or anime music quiz, and just
it's hitting different. Yeah, to quote someone.
It's from that point on, you just know that wow, this is going to be a thing. This is going to be a real thing.
Yes, no, the art style is just generally fucking gorgeous. That entire movie, if I have to make it connect with something in art quality alone, I would say Akira.
Yeah, that's a very fair comparison, I feel.
Yeah, they are both such high quality movies.
Do I even dare to ask, that live action movie they did fairly recently, was that alright? You're a movie person.
Yeah, I watched that. Not on the merit of it being Ghost in the Shell, but on the merit that Scarlett Johansson played in it. And Atje, buddy of mine, just only watches movies with her in it.
I don't dare.
And I was like, well, if I'm going to suffer through this shit movie, I might as well suffer through it with Atje. At least he gets some enjoyment out of it. That movie it got a lot of flack for whitewashing. I'm putting that in air quotes because I really can't care. I mean, yes, it's Japanese made, but the characters in the movie are not ever said to be of a particular race.
I believe they have Japanese names.
Yes, but I'm not really sold on that usually. I mean, it's all their artificial bodies and all that. Doesn't matter.
We could probably dedicate like a touchy subject to this at some point.
Oh yes, but the movie did so many unnecessary things. The live action. I'm going to spoil the shit out of it because it has no merits watching it.
Spoilers for a movie nobody cares about.
Yes, they make it a point that she's Japanese, which wasn't needed. As she is replicated into a new body, and she at the end of the movie she goes to find her mother.
Mm-hmm.
So that was already unnecessary.
Wait, stop. One moment. They have Scarlett Johansson as the actress, and they specifically make the point that she is Japanese person.
Her mom is a very elderly Japanese lady, or Korean, or at least of Asian complexion.
Okay, putting aside the whitewashing argument, that makes for a very weird casting choice.
Yes, that was, as I said, the whitewashing part I didn't care about, but they made it a point in the movie itself. And then I was just like, why? You had a thing going where that didn't matter, and now you still made it matter. That's dumb. To me, at least.
Very dumb.
And then there's just the whole movie. I don't like it when or Hollywood directors just make it so that when they adapt a movie from anime or another or niche media, I should say, that it's always big bad corporation is big bad and evil.
Yeah, that's just a standard fucking cyberpunk story, isn't it?
Yeah, this one does it for no particular reason. I don't even think the motivation of the original story is in it in any capacity. But all of the cool shots are in it. So the invisible water running scene where she's after Tug is in it. The ripping robot apart is in it. But it has no connection to actual plot.
How does it fare in recreating those scenes? Because those in animation, that's really impressive stuff. But I can imagine that if you put in a movie with like CGI, it's
okay. It's not horrible.
Okay.
But it is a bit. It doesn't go far enough in a lot of respects. But yeah, no, the 2000, what was it, 13? Whatever. The live action movie is just not worth watching in any capacity.
Fair. I would be interested in this set, by the way, because this is a really sexy box set by Funimation.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't. I have kind of an embarrassing little TV because I'm a cheapskate, and I'm already paying the price for that because I need a new one.
I mean, just to clarify here, you have a 32-inch Full HD Samsung TV. That's not too bad. The thing where it gets worse is that the standard E doesn't even work anymore. It's just leaning forward.
It has never worked. That is how I got it.
Yes, that's...
It is held up by Killer 7 and... what's that fucking thing called again?
Thing?
The mech game for the PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah, that helps. Steel Lancer Arena International. Gun Griffin Blaze. Armored Core.
No. It was very short. It was like 3 hours long.
That still doesn't get...
When we were in fucking Dordrecht, you had me buy the PlayStation 4 remake of the sequel.
Zone of the Enders.
Zone of the Enders, thank you. Yes, it's held up by Killer 7 and Zone of the Enders, because otherwise it's tilted almost completely forward and it's...
unusable.
I have had you look at it, I've had other tech friends look at it, and it still
just
radiates bloom as if it's running on the nuclear reactor. I can't fix it.
Yeah, it's just a very sad TV.
It is a very sad TV for a very sad person.
Yeah, we're going to fix that eventually.
Eventually.
I'm gonna let you get a nice TV next.
Yes, when I actually get paid for once.
For once, he acts like he doesn't get paid.
I am a few paychecks behind, actually.
Actually? Oh, damn.
Yeah, well, not the actual paychecks, but all the bonus stuff,
overtime,
all my overtime and stuff is all not getting paid because Corona.
Ah, well, that's weird, but fair enough. Let's move on then.
Okay, this is kind of a return to something familiar. Final Evangelion film is now Hideaki Anno's highest earning film with 8.28 billion yen.
It always sounds a bit so big when it's yen, but then you convert it and it's kind of sad.
Still, that is really impressive, and we talked about Evangelion.
Oh yeah, but that's just like 80 million euros. I mean, that's still a big number, but comparing it to any other...
I don't dare.
For media...
I know
I've seen you try to sip water now 4 times, and every time you were like, nah, maybe I'd better not.
Because I know I have to say something back to you, and then I rush, and then I...
Flare! And I'd like you not to spill water on my very expensive laptop there.
No, I'm trying.
Yeah, so...
But it is now the highest earning film ever made by Hideaki Anno, which is somewhat to be expected.
Yeah, to be fair, it's I don't think it has any Western releases yet, so...
Not yet, no.
So that's actually quite nice.
Much to the frustration of Evangelion fan subs that I hang out in.
Yes. So it was 8 billion yens, and that comes down to 5,423,475 tickets being sold. So that's like 1/3 of the greater Tokyo area.
That is... Jesus, that is pretty damn impressive.
Yes. That's actually quite nice.
Yeah, and I still do look forward to the film. We've kind of gone over our feelings on Evangelion already.
I really want to watch it.
I want this to come out.
Yes.
Yeah, we're still gonna do like the whole rebuild.
I really like the rebuild movies.
We can probably like free up a weekend or something for that.
Oh yes.
I'd actually take fucking off for that.
Oh, I want to do that because the rebuild movies are something special, man.
Bit of a personal aside. I've been for a while. I've been like, oh man, I gotta take vacation. But I constantly in my mind is like, oh, I've just had vacation, but I haven't had a day off since February, outside of weekends and national holidays. I've been sick twice, but I haven't had vacation in a really long time. And I keep having the feeling that I have because Corona makes everything blend together.
Yeah, fair enough. That's even worse in my case because I don't even usually leave the house most days. So I'm stuck in that cycle too. And finally, Sentai Filmworks sells out of Legend of the Galactic Heroes box set releases.
Yes, well, you not too familiar with it, but you actually mentioned before that you're kind of not interested in Galactic Heroes because it's not your kind of sci-fi.
Well, the sci-fi ain't even the worst. It's just too political. Just a lot of arguing.
It is a very political show, absolutely.
There's just a lot of arguing and little to no real action. So, I mean, I could watch it, but I have to be in a certain mood.
My friend and I actually have a bit of an in-joke. The friend and I that I watched through the entire original series with.
Yes.
Legends of the Galactic Heroes is a sci-fi series from the 80s about a war between two factions of humankind. One of them is a big authoritarian empire with a long chain of emperors and a very strong bloodline. And the other is like a Free Planets Alliance.
Yes.
It's a very... it's amazing. It's like 110 episodes. It's really long and it has sub-series attached to it. It's very long. We have kind of a joke that yes, it's very political and battles are usually like strategic breakdowns and ships doing pew-pew at each other from like light years away. But there's a few episodes where you get like interior views of the ships while they're fighting, and it's completely random episodes just have so much gore going on, and it's like you're watching like a shitty 80s OVA, just suddenly blood and guts everywhere.
Okay.
And we were constantly joking, that guy got to animate again.
Yeah, well, I'm going to steal your glasses metaphorically and push them up. They can't shoot from light years away because nothing can move faster than light.
Man.
So if they shoot from light years away, the shot would travel for a year.
But yeah, Sentai Filmworks for the longest time was selling a hugely expensive box set of the entire series.
I mean, I think they just can get away with it because it's people that actually like it really like it.
Yes, I have considered it for a while, but between me watching the series with my friend and now the moment that it's sold out has been me saving up for my big renovation project.
Yeah.
So an $800 box set that I have to import.
Yeah, which then still gets 21% tax on it and import costs. That would come down to easily over €1,000.
And delivery, my family would kill me. That first and foremost, but it was limited to 1,000 copies, and those are now sold out. So get ready for the resale market on that exploding.
Yeah.
I imagine that there's already people that managed to scalp a copy or realize they're sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah, probably.
It was a really, really impressive set. I don't think Sentai would release something smaller, more manageable, because that would kind of take away from the prestige of the box set.
Yeah, kind of cut their own arms in that regard.
Sorry, what was that?
They would cut their own arm in that regard.
Well, they've already sold their thing, but I think that the people who bought this for that price would be pretty damn upset. It would it would probably make quite a few of their most valuable customers really angry.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I would have liked to own it, but holy damn, it was
expensive.
It was amazing.
So,
forever in my heart.
Oh.
Well, that was the news for this week.
Let's get on to games we've been playing.
I was kind of impressed because by like Wednesday or something, I was like, man, not much news is coming out. Maybe we can do like a special episode. And then suddenly a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happened. Some of it's kind of pointless. Gucci.
Yay.
Yay.
Whatever. Okay, so yeah, games we've been playing.
Have you been playing anything through kind of a rough period for you?
Yeah, I've played Left 4 Dead 2, as I usually do. I've played Smite, as I usually do.
Your old favorites.
Yes, I have to say, I've been picking up Smite a lot more lately, again.
Also Left 4 Dead, actually, because I don't think I've ever seen you play that prior to our last LAN party.
Yeah, I mean, I've played it a lot. I have about 200 hours in it before I started playing it again. But I just usually play versus, and I just have a mutation installed now that I can play versus in single player.
Oh, that is very nice.
It's not the bots aren't very good, but it's just dumb fun for me. I still play Bloons.
I've tried to make that work back when Left 4 Dead 1 was a thing. And you'd have to fuck around with console commands, and once you got that working, the survivor AI was impeccable. It was perfect.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead 2 toned it down a bit, but sometimes I'm a boomer. I literally spawn in, and the frame I spawn in, I'm dead. And I'm just sitting there like, what? Why? No, and I've been playing the challenged game. Oh, and I've actually, whoa. I've got this new portable device I got.
Your new toy, why don't you?
Well, for the ones that can't see, it's an Ambernic RG350M, which is an emulation device made out of metal. So it's pretty hefty.
Aluminum.
And yeah, so it pretty much runs anything from, let's say, NES to pretty much the PSP era. So it actually plays it pretty nice too. So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, question. How much did it cost, and how much does it have like built in, and how much do you have to do?
You get a 64GB card with it,
right.
Which is preloaded to the brim, which is very illegal, but whatever. It costs... it depends very much where you live, but I could import it from France, so no import tax. It was 140 euros. The plastic version is about 40 euros cheaper.
Oh, that's pretty damn good.
Yes.
I'd take the aluminum for that.
Yes, I definitely. It's such a jonker.
It is it looks cool and shiny.
Yes, it really is. I love it. I'm in love with this thing for the last few days. I've actually really liked the feature because if you press select or you let it go to screensaver, it plays videos from the games you have on it. And if you see a game like, oh, I kind of want to play that, you just press start and it goes to that game. So I really like that feature of it as well. It really makes me play some random games because I've already completed Pokemon Emerald's randomizer on it. Kind of felt like it. It's how I break in most of my portables. Easiest way. I've played some NBA Jam on it, which is still dumb fun. I never actually played the SNES version, so playing it for the first time was really fun, actually. I get why people like that game so much. Yeah, I'm really still trying out a lot of games on it, but I really like it, the device itself. I've put in a 256 gigabyte card and just filled it to the brim.
But that preloaded cartridge, does that also come with like pre-configured emulation tools? Do you have to put that in yourself? And
usually it runs their own version of Linux with Emulation Station on top of it as a game selector, and on the background it runs RetroArch for most emulators because it's just plug and play and very easy to configure from outside of RetroArch itself. The 64 gig card just the standard OS has some limitations. I've put on let's see, Arc OS, which is based on Ubuntu. Getting technical here. And that also has an update feature built in. It has Wi-Fi. So actually, if you had the same one, or the plastic version, we could do netplay. Just play the games together, which is really nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool, yeah.
And you can just update it directly from the OS. Yeah, the custom firmware with which you can download that Arc OS or 351 ELAC are by far better because you have more options, more emulators, and more systems you can thus actually play. Because you can actually play DS on this quite decently.
All right.
So yeah,
I've
put a lot of time in this little thing. Other than that, the game I've been challenged to.
Yes, we'll get to that in a bit. Which isn't this one, but it is the same series. I slapped my microphone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't hear that. It's fine. So, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of things. A lot of smaller Steam games that I still had installed. Not any that are worth really addressing. One of the main things that I played was Killzone 2.
Oh, Jesus, why?
Because I was playing my game that you challenged me to, and I kind of wanted to break for that, and because I still had the PlayStation 3 on, I was like, fuck, what do I have for the PlayStation 3?
I was just about to ask, why would you torture yourself and set up a PS3 and go through all the hassle of downloading updates? But yeah, that makes sense.
But I played Killzone 2. I kind of was unimpressed with it.
Unimpressed?
Unimpressed.
Yeah, I get that.
I remember enjoying Killzone 1 well enough, and I played Killzone 2, and it's like, oh, well, this is kind of just a very cover-based shooter.
It's, I mean, Resistance and Killzone kind of blur together in my mind. They're very defaulty, late 2000s covery shooters.
Yeah, but...
I mean, the teams are different, but the gameplay is very similar.
Yeah, I was also not really invested in the story, also because I couldn't remember a fucking thing from Killzone 1.
I was about to say, I just remember there being Hellghasts.
Yeah.
That's how they're called, and that is made by a Dutch studio. That's literally the only thing I care about.
But the one thing that really annoyed me throughout the entire game is that all the guns feel so crap to use.
Yeah, I believe even the sounds are just very wet, sloppy noises, not really impacting.
Mm-hmm. And I actually, because of that, I took like forever on the final boss, not because it was hard, but because all the guns that were available to me were shit. You gotta have long-range combat with this very crappy iron sight gun. I just constantly had to lay ambushes for the enemy and just wait for them to run up to me.
Yeah, if I have to compare Killzone to anything, it would be that it is just a tech demo, mostly. Mm-hmm. I mean, on the PS2, it was a technical marvel. On the PS3, you have 2, which is technically impressive, but gameplay-wise not very interesting. And for the Vita, you also have one that is really impressive graphically.
I actually have that. Killzone Judgment, I believe it's called, right?
No, maybe? I'm not sure what it's called on the Vita anymore. But that's also graphically very impressive, but it's just a shooter? It's not very interesting.
Yeah, and I felt that as well. Also, for example, an example of tech demo-ness, you have the sniper. And the moment you take out the sniper, it switches unsolvably to what was the system called again for
gyroscope
controls? I forgot what
6-axis.
6-axis. That is so fucking annoying, and I take so.
Have you updated it?
Yeah.
Sure. Because if you have updated it, you can disable it.
Then I may not have, or I may not have been aware of the option.
Okay, because I know in like 2009 or 8, Sony released patches for all first-party games to disable 6-axis because, accessibility. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Ratchet & Clank had that. But some people don't have 6-axis controllers, and if you don't have the 6-axis, you literally couldn't continue in that game.
Okay.
So they have patched all their games so that you don't necessarily need it.
Then I might have skipped that. Okay. Good point. That might have solved it then.
Yes.
But really annoying because because you have to wrestle with the 6-axis and you have to zoom in, and when you get shot, it takes you out of the zoom.
Oh, yeah.
And also, just on the note that it's a cover-based shooter, you go in cover, you still get hit by fucking everything. The AI is made to just...
It's XCOM.
The second you go into cover, the AI seems to be programmed to just rush up to you.
So it's XCOM. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
And the AI takes a whole lot less bullets than... takes a whole lot more bullets than you do.
Of course.
Of course.
Anything more you've played?
Rome Total War. The remaster.
Yes.
I am so fucking ecstatic. I knew it was out, but I was kind of assuming that it'd be like what you get for consoles. Like, hey, we remastered Last of Us, give us another €70.
Haha.
But my friend informed me, hey, dipshit, it's €30. And if you have Rome Total War, and of course I have fucking Rome Total War, I love that game, it's only €15.
Ah, nice.
But I haven't put too much time into it yet. I'm still most of the way through the initial Julii campaign. You have to play as the Julii before you can unlock all the other factions.
Okay.
But I'm still most of the way through that, and killing a whole lot of barbarians. Oh, it's good to be back. It's really good to be back in that game.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any connection with Total War games. I like some strategy games, but I like the whole numbers going up part about it. So grinding for resources, and after that, army management. Mm-hmm. I don't really like the just army management of Rome Total War, or Total War in general.
Yeah, Rome Total War misses a few features that would be added later, and they didn't add those with the remaster, which is fine by me.
Oh yes.
But it also has a lot of the fun jank stuff that they kind of optimized out of the game over time. It's, for example, one thing I like that you can do is that you can have diplomats. You can just bribe armies away.
Ah, okay.
You can't do that in Warhammer Total War. You just take a diplomat, just walk them up to an army that's bothering you. Hey,
fuck off.
Got some denarii for you, would you fuck off?
Would you kindly just go away? Okay.
It's really fun, and also just the Rome mechanics are fun. That you have to deal with the Senate, and you're competing with the other two big families of Rome.
Fair enough.
It's a really good entry in the series. Most of my time went in medieval too, because I'm more of a medieval history person than a Rome history person. But I'm really into it. And
is this demanding as the newer games, or is it runnable?
It's very runnable. I don't think it's too heavy.
Because the newer games can get real heavy real fast if you mess with the graphical settings.
Yeah, I play Warhammer Total War 2 as well, and I think it's not as heavy as that, but I didn't specifically look into it. I kind of went with the assumption that I'd run it just fine, because my laptop's pretty okay.
It's pretty okay. Okay, so then we get into challenge, I think?
The game challenge, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I just finished talking. I gave you Red Cat's Spooky
Spooky Castle.
The Spooky Castle.
I finished it. I played it on hard because I'm a big boy.
Wow. You actually did it. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I finished the whole thing twice, mind you.
Twice.
Because my laptop kept crashing on the last level, so I had to replay the entire thing on my XP machine.
I know exactly what you mean, because I have the exact same problem on a Windows 98 machine.
But I was smart. The second time around, I cheated.
You cheated. What speedrun strats have you employed?
Yes, I watched the speedrun and found out you can. You have level 4. I have no clue if you played that far.
I played to the last level, but I
then
got
you have
crash loop.
The hexatorens, where you have to disable the towers with particular elements, and then you can go. If you run around that real stupidly, you can just clip through it. So you don't have to do the longest freaking level in the game.
It was all.
Because that level is just frustrating because of the jank. I do really like, though, that there's a developer room in this game.
Yes, I know that. I actually found that by accident. I just thought I was going through the motions for the actual level progression.
And I got in there and I was like, not like, oh cool, these people made it. I was just like, oh, these poor people made this. But to be very clear here, this game was actually more enjoyable than the Looney Tunes game, because holy shit.
It is legitimately kind of a fun game.
It's jank. It's very jank.
It's jank. Should we give some context on Red Cat? Because literally nobody
It's
knows
made by
this.
a Dutch company, which is called Davilex, which is an accounting company, but they made games as a side business. They have this infotainment character, Red Cat, which was used by many schools in the Netherlands to learn about math, Dutch language. I've already shown you a clip because this is De Spannende Stedentocht, which would translate to the exciting
city trip.
The opening, the opening cutscene of this game literally starts with the two baddies keeping our fucking queen under at gunpoint and threatening Red Cat to save her.
Yes, and from what I saw in the clip after that, they got like Nazi airborne landings on the Dutch city. That's
it was really weird.
Are you all right, Davilex?
Are you not telling us anything?
Your edutainment game is getting a little out of hand.
Yes.
But yeah, Spoker Still was the first game in the series that I played, which is their one venture into like 3D action platforming. I believe they didn't do that ever again.
I'm not sure, actually. Maybe? I do think there was one other one. You have the card game, as in the carts.
Yeah, the card game.
The racing game.
You have the space exploration game.
Yes.
I believe that was actually still tied up in their edutainment, but that was also just a 3D shitty Elite.
Yes. And then you have all the A2 racers and all the race games there.
Yeah, but those were without the mascot.
Yes. No, the Red Cat itself was
retired.
Yes, and purely PC, I believe. Or maybe a Game Boy game in there too.
No, I've only ever seen them on PC.
Yeah, fair enough.
I would have liked a Port of Spoker still, because then it would actually be somewhat fucking stable, maybe.
No, I think you missed something. Did you download the patch for it, the XP patch?
Oh man, I don't.
Because the XP patch fixes almost everything with that game.
All right.
You can actually play it on the semi-decent new hardware with it. Only bad part is you can install it on Windows 10. Because Windows 10 doesn't come with the fonts it needs, so the installation just freezes.
This is the kind of shit you deal with when you like old PC games.
Yes, but I finished it on hard. Very frustratingly, I might add, but I did it. You, on the other hand, got settled with Gundam Target Inside.
Yes. Before I get to that, a bit of follow-up. For those who are not watching the videos, my clothes have dried. So
He's a dry boy now.
I don't care.
No, no.
Because I know that you're paying attention, and I know I'm gonna laugh when I do it. Fuck you. I will never drink again.
Oh, damn. I'm just gonna keep my eye on you then.
Yes, I was actually kind of excited to start on that. And I do think that the game is kind of fun in the actual gameplay that you do. I didn't finish it, let's be clear about that. I like the actual action gameplay. I didn't mind the controls too much. What I did mind is just...
The FPS?
Not even that, but
Ooh,
to give context, I start the game and I had to replay the tutorial 7 times. Because what happens in the tutorial, the mandatory tutorial that you have to play, they start you out and you have to defeat like 3 Xeon mobile suits that are just mostly stationary, they don't do much to you.
Want to know the funniest part here? The European version that's specifically called Target Inside has targeting on another button than the Crossfire version that's later replaced it in Europe.
Alright.
So targeting, I never used targeting in this game because I didn't know there was an option for it.
I looked in the manual, found it, and it works perfectly fine. But you have to defeat 3 mostly stationary mobile suits, and that's fine. The moment you finish that and walk a bit away, you're ambushed by 3 active mobile suits with fairly decent equipment. And I tried to fight them a few times, I get completely fucking trounced. So what I did in my last and only successful run, they specifically give you the option, they even tell you, oh, you're not suited
Just run away.
You're not suited for this, run away. So what I did after trying that twice, is that I set it up that I was as close to the exit as possible for the mission to end. And in the brief moment that it took for the scene to play that I was being ambushed, and me getting my controls back, I immediately step on the exit zone, they play the ending dialogue, and in the time it takes for that ending dialogue to play, they shot me down to 5% of my health, and I couldn't do anything for the first few in-game days because I was in repair.
Yes. Want to know the sickest thing for me about this game? I finished it 8 times. I've finished it on every difficulty.
Yes.
From both sides.
How did you cope with that? Because I was just playing and I was like...
By the time I was playing it so often, I think I just dealt with the controls a lot better. Because I still quite clearly remember the controls, one being quite jank. Just general movement being stiff.
Yeah.
Is, I think, the best word. And the FPS being absolutely dreadful. Especially in later the missions and the forest missions.
Too much foliage.
Yes, there's too much foliage. It just messes with it.
But what really bothered me, and the reason that I didn't finish it, if you get damaged, you have to spend days in repair. And if you want to get stronger, you need to you need to pay for upgrades, which also take days. Put you in.
You have to be.
You have to spend days waiting for it to finish. During which you can't do anything, but the missions are time-bound.
Yes, you have to do everything in a very particular set way for the first few missions. I know this, but I got through it because, well, first off, this was the first game for the PS3 I had. The PS3 was the first console I ever saved my own money for. By the way, I was 13 and I saved 600 euros for the damn thing. So I was damn well getting my use out of it. So I think I spent well over 40 hours just getting the rhythm right. I think if you still give me a controller, I can still just play the first few missions to a perfect T to get further on. Because after the first I think 5-6 missions. When you get done with the game just opens up and is far easier.
Okay.
It's far more lenient because you have, first off, a lot more Gundams by that point, or mobile suits, I should say, and you have teammates. To by that point, so there's almost no way you can really mess up after that. But I know from experience that the first part of that is horrible.
Yeah, because if you have enough mobile suits, then it's not much of a problem if some are in repair. You can look at XCOM. If you have some guys in the med bay, well, that's just an opportunity to train your other guys. But also what annoys me is that you can't combine anything. You can't have a mobile suit in repair and like, hey, can you maybe stick a better gun on it while you're completely reattaching the thing? No, they're gonna reattach the whole thing.
And then you need to upgrade it. And that takes a few days. Yep. Yeah, no, that was definitely an issue because after that it's quite easy because you have so many mobile suit by that point you can just switch whenever you want.
I was down for the action. I didn't mind the stiffness of the gameplay. I didn't even really notice the frame rate being a problem for me, but I didn't have any intensive levels.
No, I think it runs at a smooth 20 whenever it's doing well, and when it's not doing well, it's low 10s.
I am a Nintendo 64 player, so...
Yeah, you disgust me on the atomic level.
Homophobia.
Oh, damn. No. But that leaves us to the games we're going to challenge each other to this time.
Yep, and I did have something in mind, and I specifically asked your permission because it's a bit against the rules, because you've already played this. I know that.
Oh, dear.
But what I would really, really like to see from you would be a Let's Play of Digimon World.
Oh, Christ, a Let's Play even.
I am so bad at Digimon World, and I so want to see that game. And I can't stand most Let's Plays, but your Let's Plays are just the kind of stuff that I really enjoy.
Fair enough.
So this is
oh dear, I'm going to be busy this week, because I actually need to research shit and RNG manipulation for that one.
Ooh.
Oh damn! Well, I got my week planned out, I suppose. But fine.
I provide.
I'll make it so. I'll make it so. You'll even get it in 4K, you dignity fuck.
Yeah.
Not that it matters. You don't have anything that support that resolution, but I'm gonna damn well use it. You're going to be playing... I was looking to your list because you have graciously granted me a list. I'm a selfish motherfucker and have not made this list yet, and definitely not available to you. And I scrolled through it, and I saw Sonic Adventure DX incomplete.
All right.
You're playing Sonic Adventure DX.
You got it.
Is there any reason you haven't played any newer Sonic games?
I believe we played Sonic Adventure DX together at some point.
Probably.
And you were finished, and after that I didn't continue.
Okay.
So it was just kind of left behind, and I didn't pick it up again.
Yeah,
but,
it's very jank.
Should be able to clear it. It's not a long game from what I
recall.
recall.
No, it's definitely not long. In my case, you just get annoyed at the game after a few tries, because the game just... If you don't know how to deal with some of the glitches, you just keep running into them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the Orca chase.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bouncy bridge which you run over, if you don't move the joystick in that particular segment, you always fall through the bridge. Always. And yeah, well, you'll see. It's still fun though, I think. It's still a bit jank, but I think you can finish... I even think you can finish the game with all characters. Because, as I said, Sonic is by far the longest. He's not representative of the rest of the characters. If you play the rest of the characters, I think all the rest of the characters combined are maybe even shorter than Sonic's own story.
Do you need to do something special in like Sonic's story to unlock the other ones, or does that just...
They just unlock along the way.
Alright, excellent. I can do that.
And after that you get the Supersonic story.
Alright.
So I hope you get to that particular part. I damn well hope so, since I have to Let's Play goddamn Digimon World. Do you want any particular Digimon, by the way? Should I digivolve my Digimon in something very specific, or can I choose?
I don't remember much from Digimon, except the episodes that we rewatched, and that there was this angel Digimon that was really cool.
Christ.
But I don't
Jimon.
I don't have any specific demands because
Oh.
no, I was just remembering things, vaguely remembering things. I remember there's this big teddy bear Digimon. I remember
yes.
that was the Centaur.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try and avoid getting Numemon, but I'm probably going to get Numemon on my first try. Because it's very specific about this checks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm going to figure this out. So then we move on to the touchy subject.
Yes, you as the chief time watcher, do we have time for...
We have a little bit.
A little bit. We gotta be fast, and that's appropriate because our touchy debate is about speed watching.
Yes.
For context, I watch anime just regularly, normally.
Normal speed.
I will sometimes skip a scene if something is like exceptionally cringeworthy. I just finished Ganokon. God help me.
God help me, I might have skipped the whole show. I don't remember at this point. There was too much alcohol in me.
I think I skipped like three scenes in that series because it's just, okay, I get it.
I get the joke. It's just going to drag on.
Yes. You'd be surprised how long Ganokon can just keep rubbing breasts on a guy and just have that be the whole joke.
Yes.
But you watch anime at whatever your fucking heart desires.
Yes, I watch at whatever speed I think is appropriate for the show.
Yes.
Especially English cast anime, I usually speed up a bit because the speed just feels enormously unnatural on 1.0 speed. Because they really tend to do this, and then that makes emotional baggage really difficult to convey.
I don't have that problem at all. I watch a lot of dubbed anime, and I don't really... sometimes you stop me and like, see, that line? That sounded unnatural. Like, well, it wasn't the best acted line, but it was fine.
Well, it's usually not even that it's bad, it's just... It's get dragged out because of the original Japanese... dub line, and that makes it very awkward to find something that A, fits the lip flaps, and B, is concise enough or long enough that it fits the time it's in. Not the primary reason I speed up, because I just watch a lot of general shit that I've watched 7 times over.
That's fine.
Because if you have watched Kanokon, you have watched about any degenerate-ass ecchi anime. They usually don't do anything very special. So I just speed up to the point I can still read, I can still enjoy. But it's just sped up.
I would say that doing so, even if you're like, well, I've seen anime like this, so I probably know what's coming up. I think that's selling it short when it is surprising. Like, I'd feel pretty bad if I'd watch Kanokon and just kind of dismiss a show that I like Omamori Himari, and I just skip through.
Yeah, but I've
changed that as well.
As I said, it just shows that I'm pretty fucking sure they're shit. I really speed up. Shonen, I usually speed up because that's just dragged on to all hell because it's based on a manga which they can't outspeed because then you get filler. And just shonen in general is so obnoxiously slow, you kinda have to speed it up. Especially if you don't want to watch the filler. And I mean, Naruto in English is still pretty easy to follow on 2 speed. Just the language itself. Usually that blurs after 1.6.
You have it advertised as such, but even in the case of Naruto, how can you reconcile, you're an audiophile, you love music, you're always going on about anime music.
Yeah, Naruto is one of those I specifically say because I've rewatched that a few times already. So the first time I definitely didn't do that. So I have the music in my head, and I usually, if I have sped it up, I really listen to the soundtrack outside of the show. But usually I just speed up the particularly bad shows that I really have to get through. And from an artistic standpoint, because you once made the point that the director would have made it a particular speed because they have to, but I really don't agree with that.
No, but to get back to what I was actually going on about, because when we watched Patama Inverted, by all means not a film I was particularly fond of.
Oh no, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, but
not interesting whatsoever.
We ended up watching it at like 3 times the speed, but that was
the end of it.
That was like that was the first time all of us had watched this show. Nobody else had seen that show yet. This was pre-corona, by the way, this anime watching party. Don't worry. But that had a lot of interesting music. At this Latin song, and that we also spat through.
Oh yeah, but as I said, I usually listen to it outside of the anime too, and Batman Inverted really didn't do anything besides that. The story itself was not interesting to me, and the characters themselves were quite annoying.
But would you really want to risk that? Even if you end up listening to anime soundtracks outside of their outside of the shows that they came with. I ended up listening to the Batman Inverted soundtrack outside of it as well, but would you really rob yourself?
I usually know literally within the first few minutes if it's going to be an anime I'm going to enjoy, yes or no. As I said, I've watched over 500 different anime and at least 100 of those rewatched. I usually just watch the first episode, not sped up. That's just its grace period, let's call it. Mm-hmm. And if it just does nothing, no world building, no characters that I'm even remotely interested in, and I still kind of want to finish the show, I'll just speed it up.
Why though? I get what you mean, and to a degree, it sounds fair what you say. Like, I give the anime one episode to prove itself, and if I don't like it, then I'm just going to speed through it. That already gives it kind of less of a opportunity to kind of impress after the fact.
I based it on more values because, as I said, it's not just animation. Because Scope's Wish, it proves itself within one episode. I don't think there is an anime that I have sped up that really was good after the fact.
Okay, but why would you then still watch it? Like when I review,
usually it's because someone wants an opinion about it. Because Brian asked me to watch something, I'll watch it. Doesn't mean I have to enjoy it though. And he gets an opinion out of me. That's usually why I watch it. Or if I saw something particular about it and I was interested in that particular part, or for the manga, I'll watch it sped up. Because if I have read the manga already and I want to compare it to the anime, then I will usually do that. But that's how I usually do that.
All right.
Because I don't really think I have watched an anime more than one episode and have sped it up and it became good after the fact.
Well, I was kind of unimpressed with Hanabata when I began. I was like, well, these characters are kind of unlikable, and it took me a while to warm up to it. But I'm happy that I did when I did. And I think that would have been lost if I'd watched the anime sped up just to get it over with.
No, I did. It's not only to get it over with. I still pay attention, but music and such. As you watch a lot of anime sped up, it kind of blurs the line of the speed in your mind. So usually the music just kind of sounds normal after a while, except when you really go high up in the 2.5, 2.6, 3 point whatever, then you are not paying any attention to the music anymore, which is obvious. But if I do it out of obligation or because someone asked, or if I want to compare, I usually just watch it sped up. If it's a first-time anime and I know it's something that I really want to watch, I'll just watch it on 1.0 unless it really wants to disappoint me. Mm-hmm. Then I'll watch it sped up.
To make that, for example, I review anime, and sometimes those are bad anime, like Kanokon, and I still end up finishing them because I don't review things that I haven't finished, outside of a handful of exceptions where I have an entire review already written out.
Yeah,
by the
fair
time
enough.
It's halfway through.
Yeah, for me it's particularly, I don't really miss things. Mm-hmm. I'm a pretty analytical watcher, so sped up, it really doesn't change that part. And if the music doesn't do anything for me, I can still follow every other part of the show.
So you would say that it works for you because, not to be rude, but you're a very dismissive viewer.
You could say that.
The point I was going to make was that I watched, even when I'm going to watch an anime that is already kind of in my mind, this is going to be a negative review, I don't speed it up just to get it over with, because I still want to catch things like what I mentioned with Kanokon, that the battle scene in episode 10 is very awkwardly sluggish and lacking sound effects.
Yeah, but that's...
I wouldn't have got that if I was watching it through it like 3 times the speed just to get it over with quickly.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it that fast to begin with, because 3.0 is reserved for utter shit. And for pretty much very slow shonen.
I ended up giving Kanokon like a 2 point something.
Yeah, that's not utter shit in my book. Everything under a 2 is utter shit. Well, Valkyrie Romanze is a good example. Goddamn. But it's not as much as dismissive as I really pay attention to what I watch. And I would catch pretty much anything still on sped up. It's just the music that gets a bit strange. But that's something you get used to after a while. For me, at least.
Yes, but this would be assuming that you're a very exceptional viewer. You're very analytical.
As I said, I wouldn't recommend it for everyone.
You're the kind of audiophile that is able to kind of work around when music sounds wrong. You can correct it, you say. But there's quite a few people advertising that speed watching should be a thing, and I don't think a lot of those people are.
Oh no, I
think there's a lot of because when you say speed watching, the first thing that comes to my mind is people want to watch anime really quickly so they can have higher stats and more things listed as done, even though they've barely paid attention to the thing.
No, fair enough. No, I don't think that's not why I do it personally. As I said, you have people that, I mean, Rolf is an example. He doesn't want to drop anything, so he just does it to get it over with. For me, it's not so much as getting it over with. It's still going to sound that way. I understand that. But if you've watched the same story about 5 to 20 times within a year, you kind of know what's going to happen either way. Mm-hmm. There's just a few specifics that are going to change. And if it's not for the music, which is going to catch my attention, I might as well just sit there and just, well, how do you say this? Hyper-focus? Autism mode?
Autism mode.
Autism mode activate. As in, I don't experience it that sped up, but it would seem like it. Because I still catch the tiny details. Because I mean, because if you watch Rolf and me watch together, that's just literally it is on 1.7 speed, and then suddenly pause. Look at that frame. It's fucked up. The keyframe ain't right.
I had to laugh because I was suddenly reminded. This is obscure as fuck, but I remembered in Biederman, the anime, you have this cat dude, and they're battling against him, and he's like, "Oh, but I see everything in slow motion." I just imagined you like that.
No, not that bad, but no, yeah, as I said, usually if the anime is really predictable, but I still kind of want to know if it literally goes exactly the way it tends to go, I'll speed up. Because, yeah, as I said, there's just a lot of archetypes that are really samey, and especially the last few years, since there's so much anime in so little time frame nowadays that there's not a lot of creative, it's not freedom, I think, creative capability.
The talent that exists is being stretched very thin.
Yes, exactly. So most shows just kind of sound alike, look alike. I mean, if I see Kevin Penkin on soundtrack or Hiroyuki, I'm just, I'll watch that on 1.0, definitely. Definitely for the first episode, because I like the music. But if it just goes downhill, like Recreators...
I've not seen Recreators.
But that's just the point, that it has a Hiroyuki soundtrack, so I really like that. Really good, even. Layers is amazing.
Hiroyuki Sawano?
No, yes? Did I say
the guy from Berserk?
Promare, at least.
Oh no, I think I'm mixing things up then.
Yeah, I'm mixing up a name. I'm trying whatever. Doesn't matter for now. But that soundtrack is amazing. But I've heard the song a few times, and it hypes up the fighting scenes. Mm-hmm. But after that, the fighting scenes aren't very well choreographed. For the most part. Mm-hmm. And after that, the story is just shit. It's just shit. So then I'm just like,
you tried to make the point earlier that it's my sense that if anime feels too slow, or that I believe that directors and creative staff are directing anime based on how long their movie is going to be, how long an episode can be.
Yeah, but that's the point I want to make. Movies, I fully agree with. Because movie, they don't have a set time. They don't have to work with a time scale. They can just make the movie as they see fit.
Yeah.
But for broadcast television, it's pretty much, you have X amount of time. We're gonna roll X amount of ads in between. Make the episode. So they already have the time constraints. Then they have often time constraints from the manga, which makes it awkward in the pacing department. And then often TV studio or broadcast studios themselves will speed up the anime to broadcast it because of the commercials. That's just I mean, here in the Netherlands, most shows run at 1.05 to 1.2 speed. You don't recognize this because, well, it's so little, your mind just processes it.
It's a microsegment for ads.
Yeah, for ads and for if they have planned particular things on particular times. And Japan is no different in that regard. Because if you watch a retouch Blu-ray release, often they are a bit slower or a bit faster than the original broadcast.
Okay.
So in that regard, I usually don't think there's a lot lost if I speed it up a bit. Because, well, the original content is already perhaps sped up, perhaps not. You don't know for sure. But for a movie, I agree wholeheartedly. You shouldn't speed that up. But for TV shows that are broadcast, usually I don't think it matters that much.
I do see your point, and I won't say that making anime is easy. These companies are working with a lot of frustrating factors that they have to tangle with. What you mentioned, broadcasting companies, the episode length. Famously, Excel Saga took the piss out of this with their final episodes, which is the unairable episode, which is 1 minute too long and goes against all broadcasting regulations.
Yep.
It was also just not. I believe they sent it in just to spite the company, knowing that it would be refused, and they just added it as a DVD special.
Yep.
But I think that's there are factors that make that go into making the anime the way it is and at the speed it is. But I think the good anime accounts for that. And because in most anime that you watch, it's not really a problem. If you have like sluggish fight scenes, that's a sign of, well, maybe it was made sluggish to make sure the episode was long enough, but that's just directorial incompetence. If you can't make...
I mean, for a long-running series like Naruto, it's hard to say because you really can't add anything besides the point, because the writer has a very specific thing in mind with the powers and such, and Naruto is notorious for its callbacks for very specific little things. I did this shoulder touch because it would impart ... on you. And if the director just starts, or the episode director knows this and still is going to add willy-nilly to a fight scene, that really can disrupt the show to a certain degree. So that's another stress factor for someone who has to direct such a fight scene.
It is stressing, difficult work, no doubt. But what I'm saying, anime, the current culture of anime production, I think really came to be shaped in the 90s. They have so much experience by now with making anime for TV broadcast, using very relatively consistent rules that they have to work with. If you still end up with fights having to implement like little workarounds to make anime feel longer and slow things down, that's just bad production.
I mean, for Shaman King, I agree with the new Shaman King because everything is already out. There's no secret ending, no strange things, everything is already done. But that's just badly animated. May it be a lack of effort, may it be a lack of people or money involved in the project. That's just kind of bad.
Naruto is, of course, also a very specific example because that was just...
Oh yes, but Bleach also kind of does that.
Yeah, well, these are long-running anime that run alongside ongoing manga.
That's my particular point of... the manga may not be finished, so they can't really add any particular thing if it's a fight scene that's important to the plot. And the timing in that can be quite difficult.
Yeah, but these anime are very much in the minority in today's scene. When you get mostly are anime that are 12, 13 episodes. You get a lot of seasonal anime now.
Yes, but also a lot of anime are now based on light novels, which are almost no visual direction to draw from. So that's also kind of difficult to work with to a certain degree, because you literally have to direct your entirety of the scene visually.
Yes, but also the freedom to do it.
Yeah, but then you come again with the time constraints they have to work in. That makes it a task that makes it very limited in how ambitious you can be.
Planning.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Most of these projects literally greenlit next season, done. We need it. And we have a studio of only so many people. You can't literally... I don't think most anime start like 6 weeks out before finishing the first episode.
I've seen a few anime about making anime, but I can't definitively say what those schedules are like.
Because especially now in these years where 64 episodes a season, it's just absurd work ethic to even come up with any drawings by that point. I mean, Mappa has been killing it in that regard, but I think it's especially for light novels a bit unfair to make that very well animated. But that's besides the point. As I said,
I get your viewpoints. I understand where you're coming from. But in an ideal world, anime would be good enough that you don't have to speed it up.
Yeah, but that's, as you said, an ideal world.
It is.
And with the budget it has versus what we would like it to have, it's mostly impossible to meet those standards.
And I personally still say, I still personally watch anime at the speed at which it's released or aired, no matter, depending on slowdown or whatever you mentioned about TV anime being slightly faster. I can kind of work with that with the micro alterations, but I still watch it at the intended speed, mostly for the authenticity of my reviews, because I know that if I hear music sped up, it just sounds like garbage to me.
But you're literally the opposite of an audiophile. You don't really care about music.
I care about good music, but I can't analyze it.
No, you literally for the background track of the for the podcast, you literally went, I want nice beeps and boops.
Yes, I don't know anything technically about music, but I can appreciate it when I hear things that are good.
Fair enough.
Same with well, to a degree, by now I kind of understand animation a lot better, but when I started writing, I know what animation that looks good look like to me, and I kind of work from there. What makes me like this versus this, which I do not like to see, but that also I wouldn't be able to discern when watching it very sped up.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, as I said, I'm fairly analytical in how I watch, so small things really stand out to me usually. Like it's hard to put in words to describe this because, you kind of have to watch something and point it out. But, I really pay attention to what I watch. But that also makes it so that I'm pretty particular about what I watch if I watch something new.
But even you would not recommend speed watching
definitely. If you're
to the average person.
No, definitely not. I mean, Rolf and I usually do it because we're taking the piss out of anime we watch. We watch it for another reason. We don't watch together just because it's a fun anime, but also take the piss out of it. We like nitpicking it, pausing it, looking at stupid keyframes that have been wrongly implemented. Although it's unfair to the team that created it, it's still fun to us.
All right. Well, that is of course an important factor. If you want to enjoy anime and you're not enjoying an anime that you're watching, you either drop it or you do whatever you need to do to make it fun for you.
Yeah, and that's how Rolf and I do it. If we really enjoy a show, we watch it. Well, usually with Rolf, we always watch sped up, but if I watch alone, I watch at normal speed. But if Rolf and I watch and we really don't like the anime, we just speed it up and take the piss out of it.
Yes, but if
because to keep it interesting.
Yes, but if you watch every anime at 1.5 and you don't have any particular autism to make that possible, apparently.
I mean, that's not just autism, but that's...
No, okay, fine. But if you don't have... If you just watch anime at 1.5 just to watch them faster and get them over with faster and see your score rise faster, that's...
I mean, if that's what you want to do...
Maybe you're not enjoying anime very much.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's all on you, but...
Yeah, that's all on you, of course, but... I remember this one guy on AnyList just showed up and he had like 60... like in the tens of thousands of episodes watched on his list.
I mean, I shouldn't say anything. I have that too, I believe. I have 12,000 episodes watched, I think.
And he was making just an unrelated post, and people were like, go fuck off with your 32,000 episodes.
Yeah, I have about 12,000, I believe.
Right. Yeah. That was all for today. I'm going to try and finish this once the recording stopped and I can't embarrass myself anymore.
That's what he thinks. But yeah, this was the Main Protagonist podcast with my very dense love interest.
Yes, I still think that we're doing really well. Yeah, we're good friends.
I'll just strangle you after the recording.
Excellent. I'm not too familiar with this archetype. I hope I did well enough.
Yes. Hey, have a nice day. And,
have a nice day and goodbye, everyone.
See you next time, because we are not on a very particular schedule. Bye-bye.
Bye.